Today we are going to do 11.5 dividing polynomials. The first section today is dividing a polynomial by a monomial. And you have to remember that dividing by a monomial has different rules than dividing by a polynomial. Again, monomials do not have pluses or minuses in them. What you're going to do is you're going to divide each term of the polynomial by the monomial, whether it goes in evenly or not. And then you have to state the excluded values because division looks like fractions. They have the same rules. So the divisor is like a denominator. So you cannot have 0 be the divisor. You can't divide by 0. Alright, so my first example here, we are going to divide 4z squared minus 18z by 2z. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite it so that it looks like a fraction. So 4z squared minus 18z over 2z. And now I'm going to divide each of these terms by 2z. So 4z squared divided by 2z is 2z, and negative 18z divided by 2z is negative 9, and that is the quotient. We do have to state the excluded values, and when you have a variable as a monomial, the excluded value will always be 0, so z cannot equal 0. Number 2. N squared minus 4n plus 8 divided by n. Again, I'm going to rewrite this as a fraction. N squared minus 4n plus 8, all of that over n. And now I'm going to divide each term by that n. N squared divided by n is n to the first. Negative 4n divided by n is negative 4. And positive 8 divided by n, it doesn't go in, so we'll leave it as a fraction 8 over n. Excluded values, again we have a monomial, so n cannot equal 0. What I would like you to do is to go ahead and pause the video and do numbers 3 and 4, and then we will check your work. Okay, those are the answers. As you can see, a lot of those did not go in evenly. You just simplify it and leave it as a fraction. The big part of the lesson today is polynomial long division. Now these are the steps here to do polynomial long division. I'm not going to read them to you. They're there as a reference if you need help. What I'm going to do is go through these step by step as we do each of the problems. Okay, so my first problem I want to do is x squared plus 5x plus 6. And I'm going to divide that by x plus 2. Again, we are dividing by a polynomial or anything with a plus or minus in the denominator. You have to do it a different way than you did it with a monomial. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our division. The numerator is the dividend, so it'll be x squared plus 5x plus 6, and x plus 2 will be the divisor. And the key to everything, the key to absolutely everything, is this first term of the divisor, x. That's what we're going to divide into everything. So we're going to divide it into the first term. So x into x squared. That goes x times. And I know it's right because x times x is x squared. Again, when you long divide normally, what you have to do then is multiply and then subtract. So I'm going to multiply this x times both of the terms of my polynomial. So x times x is x squared. And x times 2 is positive 2x. And now I'm going to take away that from my x squared plus 5x plus 6. What should happen is when you do x squared minus x squared, you should get nothing here for the first term. If you did get that, you did it right. 5x minus 2x is 3x. And you're going to bring down the leftovers. So the new thing I want to divide into is 3x plus 6. Again, going back here, again, I'm going to divide this x. X into 3x is positive 3 times. 3 times x is 3x. Again, that should match. 3 times 2 is positive 6. We love it when they both match, because when you take that away, 3x minus 3x is nothing. 6 minus 6 is also nothing. I'm left with no remainder. This x plus 3 is the quotient. We do need to state the excluded values. And the excluded value here would be negative 2, because negative 2 plus 2 makes 0. All right, number 6, I'm going to set it up. X squared minus 2x minus 15, and then x minus 5. I'm going to divide this x here into these terms. So x into x squared goes x times x is x squared. X times negative 5 is negative 5x. And I'm going to subtract. X minus x squared is nothing. Now you got to be able to think here and be careful. Negative 2x minus negative 5x is actually positive 3x. And I'm going to bring down the next term. X into 3x is positive 3 times. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. And look at that. They matched. So that when I subtract them, I should get no remainder. 3x minus 3x is nothing. Negative 15 minus negative 15 is also nothing. So there we go. And looking over here at my excluded value, x cannot equal positive 5. Go ahead and pause the video and work on number 7. Okay, let's see how you did. I got 2x minus 16. Again, be very careful in this subtraction process. And the excluded value is negative 3. Okay, number 8 is a tricky one, so I'm going to go ahead and star this one, and hopefully you do the same thing. We're going to divide x squared minus 64 by x plus 8. Here's what makes this tricky. In order to do long division, every degree of the variable must be represented. So here I have the second degree, and here I have the 0 degree. I am missing the first degree. So when I write this out, I have to include all the degrees. So I'm going to do x squared plus 0x. Again, it indicates that we didn't have any, but the degree is represented. And I'll explain why in a second. That's important. And then negative 64. I'm going to divide that by x plus 8. All right, again, we're going to divide this x. Nothing changes. X into x squared is x times. And when I multiply, I get x squared. And then x times 8 is positive 8x. And the reason that we had the 0 there is now we have something to take away from. That way all your terms are lining up when you're subtracting. All right, x squared minus x squared is nothing. Again, that's a sign I did it right. I got the first one right. And then 0 minus 8 is negative 8x. And I'm going to bring down the negative 64. X into negative 8x is negative 8 times. Negative 8 times x is negative 8x, again a great sign. And then negative 8 times positive 8 is negative 64. Again, they are all matching. That's always good news. And when I subtract that, I'm going to get no remainder. Again, my excluded value, x cannot equal negative 8. All right, we're going to jump to number 10. The next thing I want to show you occurs in this problem. Again, we're going to set up our division problem, our long division. I got 4x squared plus 6x plus 1. I'm going to divide that by 2x minus 1. And again, the key to the whole thing is that first term there. So I'm going to do 2x into 4x squared, and that will be 2x times. Multiply that, I get 4x squared. Again, great sign. And then 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. And I'm going to subtract. 4x squared minus 4x squared is nothing. 6 minus negative 2 is 8x. Most times when there's a mistake made, it's right there in that subtraction because you got the double negative, so take your time when you're doing your subtraction. And I'm going to bring down the positive 1. All right, into the next term. 2x into 8x is positive 4 times. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Again, I'm going to subtract. 8x minus 8x is 0. Again, great sign. 1 minus negative 4 is 5. But you'll notice I have nothing else to bring down. This is the first problem that we had in which we had a remainder. Here's how you show the remainder in polynomial long division. First thing you have to figure out is it positive or negative, and put the appropriate sign up here. So this is a positive 5, so it's going to be plus. And remainders simply are fractions. We have 5 left over out of the 2x minus 1 we were dividing by, so that's the fraction we're going to write. 5 over 2x minus 1. All right, now we got to do our excluded value. So I'm going to set 2x minus 1 not equal to 0. Add 1 to both sides. 2x cannot equal 1. Divide by 2. X cannot equal 1/2. And there is our final answer. All right, what I'd like you to do is to go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to go back and do number 9 and then do number 10. In number 9, it's just 4 terms. There is no missing term, and there is no remainder. Number 9 goes in evenly. And then number 11, it has a missing term, and there is a remainder. So just that'll be a good test to make sure that you know what you're trying to do. Okay, here's the answer to number 9. I got 2x squared plus 3x minus 4. X cannot equal negative 3/4. Again, this had 4 terms. Nothing was missing. The thing with 4 terms is a lot of subtraction, so you want to take your time as you're going through. And then here is the answer to number 11. Number 11, you are missing the first degree, so make sure you put the 0 in there. You'll notice it when you're subtracting. You have nothing to subtract from it that you forgot to do that. And then with this one, we had a remainder of negative 10, and it was negative, so up here the fraction was minus 10 over 2x minus 5, and x could not equal 5/2. All right, that's it for the day. You have some work to do, and we'll check in with you again tomorrow. Take care.